and welcome or welcome back to my corner of the internet. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah, also known as the Live Life's Beauty, and I'm so glad that you have found me. And if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you so much for coming back and joining me on another video. In today's video, we will be doing some vinyl heat pressing. Cut a long story short, my son's birthday is in 2 days and we are going to be making his personalized pajamas. He's also having a birthday party in 4 days from now and we are going to be making his birthday t-shirt. So I wanted to do something really special because he's going to be my sweet baby boy, and I basically wanted to make him a personalized birthday top. Originally, when I had this idea, I wanted to do it with sublimation, but with sublimation you have to use 100% polyester, and I could not find anything in his size that would ship to me and that I thought was a reasonable price to pay. So I ended up just going to Mataland. Other shops are available, and I ended up just getting some blank t-shirts. Wow, this is a whole set, so you do get the bottoms and the top, and this was for £6 and I thought that was fantastic. These are cotton, so I will be able to use heat press vinyl on it, and that is what I plan to do. So this is what is going to be his top for his actual birthday party. And then I got this set, which was £9, and I'm going to use this jumper because in the UK it is very rainy and very cold, so I didn't want to have, you know, make him a special top and then where we end up going for his birthday party it'd be a bit cold in there. I do understand he might be running around and stuff, so he may get warm, but just to have that extra, I've made these specials. He's going to have a jumper and he's going to have a t-shirt, and this also comes as a tracksuit set, so he'll probably wear this as a whole tracksuit set with just this top, and that will be his birthday outfit. Then while I was in there, I also seen this colour, and I'm going to use this as his pajamas. So these are going to be his birthday pajamas, and again this was £6, and I just thought, you know what, is it pajamas, is it clothes? It could be either. It's a piece of clothing. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out. Now what I will say is I do plan on having some special guests today, and I don't want them to be in the video, so I'm not sure how the rest of this video will go, if it will be voiceover me or if I will be able to talk you through stuff as I'm doing it. I will premise this video by saying this is not a tutorial. I am not going to be teaching you how to do it. I'm just going to be showing you how I do it. I'm not professional. This is going to be probably my second time using the heat transfer vinyl on pieces. I don't have a backup, so if that goes wrong then we are screwed. But I'm definitely going to take you along on that process with me. So let's get going. So for this, guys, you get a full tour of my very chaotic living room. But I had to pull out the table for this because it was just so much compartments that I wanted to be able to have the full length of my table to work on. And I'm just setting everything up now. Obviously I'm not going to go in depth about how to set up a Cricut machine and how to do everything, but you get the gist. I'm just setting everything up so that before I even start, everything is ready to go and I can just swiftly and easily move on to one task. I will say, even though I set up my table, I was still kind of running out of space. Like, one thing with the Cricut is that you need to but you need to have it not against the wall, because as it pushes the paper through it needs space, otherwise it's going to like buckle on itself. So that basically took up half of the table. So I was kind of like working on half of the table with the Cricut and then working on the other half of the table with the heat press, and then I had to have my laptop because I had to do the designs from my laptop. Then I had my notebook because I had my measurements. So these really do require space. Like, when I see people with those massive island spaces that they're working on, it's actually really needed and necessary. But yeah, I'll stop whining on. At least I've got this space for now and I'm doing what I can, and you know, I'm making it work for me. I don't intend to talk through this whole process because it is pretty self-explanatory. Like, when you see what I'm doing, it's not too complicated of a process. However, I will talk through some of the bits and just how I found it, although you do get a full summary at the end with just me talking about how I found everything and, you know, what I rate this project. So here what I was doing is measuring the t-shirt, because I almost made this whole design without measuring the actual size of the design. On Cricut Design Space, my one does come out in centimeters, so I know some of my American people that I follow, theirs comes out in inches. I'm not really sure how to change that setting, so if you do know how to do that, let me know down below, because I've started sewing as well, and it will be useful to just get knowing things in inches when it comes to anything to do with clothes rather than centimeters. But again, it wasn't difficult. Obviously a tape measure has both on there, so it's absolutely fine. But I selected the whole design, so you can see I've got the crisscross, not crisscross, like the flag design. So from top to bottom I measured the whole design, and then I sized it to I think I went by the width for this, the width that I wanted. And then if the width was like making the height too much, then I kind of had to like size down the width. But the main focus of the design was to have it as big as possible width wise on the jumper. On this video I only show you the jumper because the pajamas and the top, it was just the same process, and we didn't want this video to be unnecessarily long. Now, when I first was using Cricut Design Space, obviously I was messing around with it. I didn't really know what to do, and I ended up deleting like all the things that I wasn't currently using. And then once I'd printed off the design, I would go back and just press the back button and then re-upload the design, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like going back, and it would put all the things that I deleted on. But then I realized that I didn't have to do that. All I had to do was change the colors. So because for this design I only wanted two colors, which was black and yellow, I obviously just changed what I wanted to black and yellow, and then the designs that I didn't want I just changed to like a random color, so like red, so that everything was just red. And then everything that was black and yellow would be on one mat, and that would be what I would make in the design. I haven't found a way to eliminate things that I don't want to print off. So if you know how to do that, then please let me know, because I am new to this whole Cricut design and vinyl, so it would be extremely helpful. So when you are loading your machine, always make sure that the shiny side is facing down, and always make sure that your design is mirrored. Again, I almost clicked make the design without mirroring it, and that would have been a tragedy, because I only had one yellow paper and I only had two black. And whilst you might think, oh, that's quite a lot, it wasn't, because I had to obviously do a t-shirt and a jumper using this design, and the width was quite long. I did obviously get a lot out. I think once you put the design to what I wanted, it ended up, you know, being a lot, because it was essentially a toddler outfit. So I really had to just make sure that I was really focused on making sure the designs were mirrored and making sure that I had the right centimeters, because I didn't want to do it and then screw it up again. With this Cricut you can change the settings. Now for the black paper, it was not very thin, but thinner than the yellow. So as this was cutting, it took a bit more pressure on the yellow, because the yellow was thicker, even though it's from the same company. I don't know how that works, but yeah, they're not the same thickness. Like this yellow was quite thick and the black was not thin but thinner. So you'll see when I'm heat pressing that also comes into play. One thing I will say about the heat press vinyl is that I definitely forgot that you do not need to cut this all the way through. It's not trying to be cut all the way through, it's just trying to give it a deep enough cut so that you can weed it easily enough. Also, I will say that the black we did very easily, and the yellow was a bit more tricky because it was tougher. So when I was doing this design, what I ended up doing was cutting each section out because I wanted to conserve as much paper as possible. So I individually cut around each element of the design and kind of patchworked it together when I was sticking it on the top. So in my videos, I do like to leave some things in real time and then some things sped up, just so that you kind of get a gist on how long things actually take. And then obviously you don't have to be bored for the rest of the video watching the real life process of it all. So here we are onto the part where we're going to design the t-shirt. I will say that I have already pressed this t-shirt. When I was watching how other people do it, they said to press the t-shirt for, I think it's like 10 seconds. They say that it is to get the moisture out of the t-shirt and help the heat vinyl stick better to the item of clothing. So I just did what they did. And this is a Teflon sheet that came with my heat press vinyl sheets that I got off Amazon, and this is supposed to be reusable, so I have been reusing it and it seems to be working fine. I pressed this for 60 seconds at 165 Celsius. My heat press can go to Celsius or Fahrenheit. I just prefer working in Celsius, so I do it at 165. Then once I held it down for 60 seconds, no guys, I am not with it. Once I held it down for 30 seconds, I gave it a rub with just the bottom of this set just to help cool it down and to help press the design in. Then once it was pressed in, I slowly peeled the design back. Now it wasn't cool to the touch, it wasn't cold, I wasn't leaving it to get cold. I literally just rubbed it until I felt that I could peel it off without burning myself. So it doesn't really give instructions whether to wait till it's fully cold or whatever, but it's always peeled pretty easily for me with it being hot. So I just did that. Now with this yellow, like I said, because it was thicker, I was having a little bit of trouble with this, so I in fact kept it at 165 Celsius, but I did it for 60 seconds. So I pressed down for 30 seconds and then I held it down again for another 30 seconds. On this heat press, you can totally put the time up to just 60 seconds so you wouldn't have to press it twice, but I was just experimenting, and as I did with the black, I just rub over it with a cloth. It's not a cloth, it's the bottom of the trousers, but I think I will get a dedicated clothes rubbing cloth and just rub that down, and then again once it's cooler to the touch, peel it off. Now my hand is definitely in the way so you don't get a satisfactory peel, but that did the job for me and it came out really, really pretty. I do believe that this is what I filmed. I don't think I filmed the jumper. So guys, we are on to me showing you the reveal. Do not mind my sweaty face because it's been a long day. So guys, here we are. Here are the final results. This is the one that I'm going to use as the pyjama set. This is the jumper that he is going to wear on his birthday at the party. And then this is his t-shirt that he's going to wear. I think they all came out so incredible. I am very, very proud of myself. Now with these designs, I did not reinvent the wheel. I literally went on Pinterest, found some inspiration and literally copied that and made it my own design. With this one, I'm not sure if you can see if I come a bit closer, but right there it did have a little embolism on it, but from far away and once everything is on there, you can hardly even tell. This ended up being such an easy project. It's definitely something that I want to incorporate in my business in the future. I don't know if that will be coming very soon because the weeding part of this was a bit tricky. Even though I got all the heat press vinyl from the same seller, some of them were really thick and hard to weed, and some of them were really lightweight and easy to press and also weed, which reminds me of the temperatures as well. I think some of them, because they are thinner, they require a different temperature to the ones that are thicker, but ultimately it's all the same because I did get that heat transfer vinyl from Amazon. So that is just one thing to note, but I am super happy with the quality. I'm super happy with the shine of it and how it has all came out. I'm very confident in the wash test because from all of the reviews, it was the highest one and nobody really had anything negative to say about it, so I am confident in it. I'm just so happy, guys. Honestly, I'm beaming that I've managed to produce something like this, and I just cannot wait to get stuck in and create more projects. I will say that this project was really fairly easy to do. Like, there wasn't any learning curves to it apart from having the right time and making sure that you have the right pressure in to press it down. But even then, you can kind of get away with it as long as you don't peel it up and peel up the design. Then you can just kind of stick it back on. I did have problems with this one. The name here was extremely small and it was very hard to weed this eye, and when it was cutting, it didn't cut around this C. So as I ripped it up, all of that came up and curled on itself, so to get it back down was a bit of a task. But other than that, guys, it was perfect and it was just so easy and simple to do. And one thing that I will say with the Cricut is always remember to mirror the design, which I learned the hard way the first time I ever attempted it. And so from now on, definitely have it in my mind to make sure that mirror is on. Also, another thing that I almost didn't do was measure, guys. I was not measuring the size of this design, so I just went to create the design and then make it, and then I was like, oh, why does it look so big on that canvas? And I had to remember that I had to resize it, so I did have to get my tape measure out and start measuring to make sure I got the correct size. But learning curves done and dusted. I cannot wait to get started on my next project, guys. I really hope this video was helpful to somebody. I'm so glad that you have joined me on this video today and on this task. Do not forget to live life's beauty, because life is beautiful and it's out there waiting to be lived by you. And hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye.